What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Black. It's your girl, Red. Now, I don't do live. I need to go live. I need like an actual like live show. It's your girl, Red. Welcome to the Black. Let's see. I think I'm on episode 42.
Wow.
41, 42, something like that. I'm in the 40s, like early 40s. And this episode is a conversation that needs to be had. I'll say that. It's not serious. I mean, it's serious, but it's not like you'll laugh a little bit. You might smile, and you'll be informed, no doubt. That's the point. My guest, tell the people your name, please.
Souhila Muhammad.
Okay. Where are you from originally?
A lot of places.
Okay, where was you born?
I was born in France.
Okay.
From Moroccan parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, we going international.
That's right.
The Block is going international now.
Right.
I did have somebody listen to a show like one time from like Italy.
Really?
That's what they said.
That's cool.
I'm from Italy. I was like, oh, word, that's what's up. When I was doing my actual like live and I wasn't professional and all this equipment, I was in the house, literally like in the basement. You gotta
first recording.
Yeah, like literally like, keep the dog out, make sure banks don't bust in here, could you not yell in the background, stuff like that. It was like a real legit in the house situation. I was really in the Block. Let me see. I think the first topic I told you about, I want to talk about the rape culture.
Okay.
I don't know when it became that, like how the media names it that, but here lately it's been something. When I say rape culture, for people that don't understand, I mean this is under the umbrella of like sexual harassment. What else is this? Like sexual harassment, those things. Something that's not, it's not consent. It's not consensual. And here lately, it's been something that's been taken lightly. I'll say it's like, people laugh about it, or they'll, it's real passive. It's like, it was just this, or it was just that. And it's something that you just can't brush over and make so light of, because not saying that I've been a victim of it. Like I've been racially profiled, things like that. Like I've had certain different kind of harassments. So, but I understand, like if I was in that situation, I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Right.
I'll say that. So we've had, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump, which is like crazy to even say that. Crazy to even like put that in a sentence, because in the very beginning I was the main one that was like, nah, they not gonna let that happen.
I don't even think he himself thought he would have that kind of support.
And I
took it as a joke.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like he's like almost sabotaging himself. That's how I feel like everything that's came out towards the end, like just in this last month, I feel like it's something that his camp told him to put out, or something that his camp might have leaked to somebody else so that they can put it out. The way he talks in debates, like I feel like he's like really trying to like sabotage it to the point, but he still has supporters.
That's what I'm saying. The scary thing is, even after that video, I guess we'll get into that, but even after that video, what literally disgusted me was to see even women.
Yeah.
Like, you probably saw that one picture of that lady wearing that shirt, said, you can
grab mine.
Yeah.
Grab mine. I'm like,
really?
First of all, that's not a cool thing at all. It's not. Don't grab it. Do not grab my pussy. I can say that on the Block because it's my show, but do not grab my pussy. There's no consent behind that.
Exactly.
And I never will be. I don't think that's cool. So speaking of Donald Trump, the audio came at him and Billy Bush. Billy Bush lost his job off the back of that, which I kind of laugh, because previously, like before, I didn't like Billy Bush because of how lightly he took the Ryan Lochte, whatever his name is, Ryan Lochte, whatever. Yeah. How lightly he took that situation. They're just kids. No, he's 30 years old. He's not a kid. He's a grown ass man. Like, and he just kind of brushed it off. And when Al Roker was trying to tell him certain things, he was just not trying to hear it. So I don't feel bad that Billy Bush lost his job for that reason. And because if you listen to the audio, he's like laughing.
And that's my whole point. And I think that's like one of the main things that contributes to rape culture.
Yes.
It's people who don't actually speak up when they hear like something crazy, like what Donald Trump said, and actually be like, hold on, that sounds wrong. Like,
yeah, you shouldn't
you're
say
wrong.
that.
You shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Just because somebody has money, some kind of power,
right?
It means that you should laugh it off. And the fact that they try to say it was locker room talk,
yeah.
to me, that's still, it don't matter.
And that's why I said it's taken, rape culture, sexual harassment is taken so lightly, really, when it's done to women. Mm-hmm. And I'll get into the men's side of that in a few minutes. But just the reason why I feel like Billy Bush got caught up, if he would have sat there and literally let Donald dig himself into a hole, he would still have a job.
But this is the scary thing too, is Billy Bush is out. They said he was leaving. They didn't say he got fired, but we know what happened.
Right.
But why is it that this person that's actually running for the highest position of leadership in the land still has a 50% chance of being president?
I don't get that.
How is it that there's not any, I don't know, I don't even know if there are any grounds for disqualification.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I feel like,
how are you still in this?
He loses his job, but the person that actually uttered all of those words
is still out here.
It's still out here. It's still getting support. Need to catch it. And I mean, and you were talking about how it's taken lightly. I guess I would take it even a step further and say not only is it taken lightly, but actually we place the blame on the wrong person.
Yeah, it's the woman's fault.
How many times do we hear, well, see how she was dressed?
She shouldn't have been dressed like that if she didn't want it.
She should have known that she was,
or she shouldn't have been drinking.
What did she expect? Yeah. It's like nobody walks around with a rape me kind of
like when you put an outfit on, when you getting ready to go out or whatever, no one's like, oh yeah, somebody gonna take this tonight.
And plus there's I remember when I was in college, we had studied rape, and they were talking about how there were studies that showed that actually what rapists or people that, sexually assault other people are looking for, it's not even sex. They're looking for control.
Yeah.
So it don't even matter what you're wearing. As a matter of fact, they're looking for the person that's probably, married or, whatever. They're looking for some type of control. So, but when you place the blame on the victim, what are you doing? Not only are you contributing to that rape culture, but you continue to make it hard for them to even then, if that happens to them, to even come forward and say something.
And that's the reason why women in that certain situation do not feel comfortable coming forward, because they feel like it's all going to be turned around on them. Even when they take it to court, it'll be like, well, what was you doing? What did you do to cause that? And you shouldn't have been doing. I mean, it doesn't matter what a woman's wearing. It doesn't matter how much she's had to drink. Any of those things is still not grounds for you to rape somebody. Rape is not cool. Sexual harassment is not cool. Like, to make those advances to say, like, Donald Trump was really on there, I'm rich, you know what I'm saying? Give me my Tic Tacs. I just start kissing them. And I'm like, first of all, who allows a man, like, y'all could be having a conversation, even come that close to your face? Because I know when someone's about to get in my face, and you can just brush that. I don't give a shit how much money you got. How much power. I don't care if it costs me my job. I'm the most important asset.
Absolutely.
Because I have to protect me, and that kind of situation can take so much toll on your mental health.
Right.
Like, you'll literally sit there and beat yourself up, and people tell you to talk to somebody else and get help and all those things. And all those things sound good, but it's like, who even knows if that person even has the mental will, the strongness to even carry on through that? Because I can sit here and talk to y'all about all these things, but when I get home and I'm by myself, I'm literally in my own head, and there's so many thoughts going through it that if you're not mentally strong and you don't have a certain kind of faith base, then you will literally take yourself out. And there's been, cases where women have done that. Yeah. Because they went and they tried to do the right thing, and they did this and they did that, and it's sad that it's just so taken so lightly. You can do whatever you want to. You can grab them by the pussy. I'm like, who says stuff like that?
But not only that, but also then what kind of message are you sending to even kids? Right. You know how kids, they're not going to understand all the layers of politics.
Right. And, they don't get all that.
They're just going to get, okay, this man said this. Okay, they talked about it for a few seconds. And he's still running. So the message that it sends is there's no consequence.
Yeah.
That means it's okay. We're just normalizing that type of, just behavior.
Right.
As of today, we're just talking about, the Trump video.
There's so many other cases.
The past. People have already put it in the past. And he, even himself, well, I apologize.
That's still not enough. Like, there has to be more than, that whole saying that goes around on social media, the best apology is a changed behavior. Mm-hmm. That's how true. You really tell somebody, like, you have to, it's one thing to tell them, it's another thing to show them that you're absolutely, I'm apologetic to what I did. He's not, because even on the, when he says his famous quote, nobody, respects women more than me. And everybody knows that's a joke, because you sat there and you tore poor Rosie O'Donnell to shreds for whatever reason. I can't even remember, like, what their riff is. It doesn't even matter. Nobody deserves to talk. No man deserves to talk to a woman like that. And vice versa. Like, it's just some kind of respect should be laid there. It doesn't matter, like, what happens. Short of somebody putting their hands on you, do you absolutely lose your shit? Let people sit there and talk all day. But then what made it so funny, because he said that and then turned around and called Hillary Clinton a nasty woman. Listen, you just said, don't nobody respect women more than me. No, you don't, because you just sat here and called this woman a nasty woman. Like, you didn't have to. Whatever she said to you did not cause, unless she was like, you a nasty old man, then you can rebuttal with, you know what I'm saying? Then you say that back to her. But if she ain't said nothing, it's only because she's not saying the things that you want her to say. She's not agreeing with you. He's like a man. He's literally a man-child.
Well, I think it is even more because there's no substance to what he's saying.
None.
There's no plan.
He can't tell you how. He
doesn't know anything. So the only thing that he can do is just, even when they would ask him, like, literally, like, just legal question, like, about, the Supreme Court or whatever. Yeah.
Well, they did.
She's going to do this, and she's saying Michelle Obama, and let me tell you what she's going to do, and then I'm going to destroy ISIS.
Yeah,
just
they didn't have nothing
ISIS.
to
that
do.
Wasn't the question.
Supreme Court, like, is literally here.
He has nothing to say.
He don't have a plan.
No,
there's no plan. He plays the blame game. It's you, and it's not even factual when he does it. Like, it'd be one thing if I can, like, shun you and I'm actually hitting you with facts. You don't even have any facts or nothing to stand on. So it's like, you get out here and you have so many mindless people that anything that he says, they literally believe that. Like, he went on to say that Obama and Hillary had paid the protesters to come. I'm like, come on.
He was like $1,500.
Now look, as broke as I am, living paycheck to paycheck, I go in your rally and start some shit if need be. I need my check. If that was the case, that ain't the case though. It's you literally tapped into a certain hate base.
Exactly. I mean,
and that you just woke up to hate. Like, everybody's like, I mean, I've been feeling like this, but since he on the main stage, let me just show my ass.
Yeah, you don't need nobody to set up no protest.
No,
like, everything he says. Just look in our city when he came. Look at what happened. Ain't nobody actually setting you up.
No, that was like, you literally,
the environment you want to create.
Yeah, listen to what you're saying. And then you have mindless people, like the people that are your supporters, that anything that you say, they're going to agree with it, especially if it's something along the lines of, like, racism. Oh, they all for that. They've been waiting for their moment, that person, for them to get a chance. Like, I've been waiting to say, I hate the Muslims, I hate Mexicans, and black people got to go too. Like, they've been waiting for that kind of moment because, like, for a couple of years, though, like, a large amount of that hate has been dormant. Like, you would literally conceal it. And me personally, I like my racism open, so that way I know what kind of person that I'm dealing with, so that way I have the option to not deal with that person.
And that's what's just, like, honestly just scary, because he literally just, in his whole campaign, it just brought out the worst in this country. You know what I mean? Like, finally, like, somebody's going to say everything that we've been trying, the way that we've been feeling. And it's like, is that the kind of person you want to lead this country?
It's not even, he's not a leader, because he doesn't understand politics. And that's the reason why, of course, you have those people that don't like Hillary. I think Hillary's all right. I ain't tripping off of her. She cool. She's a woman. That's more the reason why I'm like, let's get it, because I'm all about women empowerment. I was like, you done had a black man do it for 8 years. Why not give a woman a shot? You know what I'm saying? And then if, it's not what y'all want it to be, then I guess we can go back to the old white man. But after 8 years of a black man, we can't go back to a white guy. Like, that shit's just, that can't happen, because you done proved that, it can happen. So you might as well just let it slide to a woman. That's just for me. And of course, everybody has their feelings about it, but
I mean, I just feel like they all find a perfect person to be your president.
No.
There's not going to be one person that's going to be that every single person in America is going to be like, yes,
because it's never been like that. It's never, and that's why I don't understand. Everybody's like, we're fucked, we're screwed either way, and I'm just like, how so? Because it's always been like, you hate one candidate, you like the other one, it's cool, or you might be in the middle the whole time, and you like, there's some things I like about this one, there's some I like about that one. Now you're in a point where I don't like nothing about this one, and this one's a woman, so now you like. It's sexist. I've been saying this on Facebook. I was like, y'all keep skipping over this shit. I ain't stupid.
Right.
The reason why y'all not voting for Hillary and the reason why the media is setting this shit up this way is because she's a woman. If it was Bill Clinton and Bill Clinton didn't do what he did back in it, he's never president, this wouldn't even be an issue. Every black person would be like, I'm voting for Hillary. I mean, I'm voting for Bill just because it's a man.
And that's why, like, it just emphasizes the importance of voting, because we know not everybody did win and actually voted in the primaries.
You can so tell
it's like, don't say I'm not going to vote and I'm out of it. I'm out of it. You're not out of it by not voting. You're voting for the person that you really don't want to be elected.
I've said that I and that's what I'm gonna keep saying till November 8th, or for you Trump supporters, November 28th, because that's what he had said. So. He literally got a friend who was like, November 28th, so that's when y'all go vote. November 28th come up, y'all got it. Y'all go ahead and cast the vote and we'll see what happens. But that whole, like, I don't want rape to be taken lightly. I don't. And then, that situation where men feel like, where they've been raped. And I've never heard of that before, but I'm pretty sure there's cases of it. I wouldn't know.
There's definitely... And, I see it just from, law school and just, cases that we see and everything. And I think that is that double standard. And it's true, a lot of times double standards work in like disfavor of women. But I think that also we got to look at how some men, the way that we contribute to rape culture when it comes to men is most people are going to laugh it off. You got sexually assaulted. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, it happens. It doesn't happen as often as it does for women,
right?
But it does happen, and by just making them feel like
basically how we feel, it's a double standard.
Exactly, and that's one of my pet peeves. I hate doubles. If the situation is the same, there's no reason to treat it different.
Yeah, that's a perfect segue to the next topic. Damn it, that was great. You gotta be my co-host. No, that was a perfect segue. So let's get into this myth, because I was chilling one day, me and my sis April. Shout out to April. I forgot what we was watching. Or maybe it was on social media or something. I don't know. But the myth about homewreckers, that is a myth, and I only say that because
I can't wait to get into
nobody like when people. In this situation, usually it's always the woman that's the homewrecker. It's never the man. Nobody gets mad at the man when he cheats and he does it. And we'll get to y'all's asses in a minute, because I'm pretty sure I've talked about this in the past, because it pisses me off. Homewreckers. How did she get in? Like, nobody, she didn't break in.
No.
She didn't pick the lock. No. She was openly invited by the other party. I know what it was. I was watching Black Ink Crew, Chicago. Yeah. And in this situation, what's his name? Don. This is like season 2, whatever. And I'll give y'all like a little backstory. So he has a girlfriend named Ashley. They have a kid together, of course. So they work in a tattoo shop. One of the girls in there, she's, I hate this word, but no other word to describe. She's a thought. She's really thotty. She's like stars for attention. She does the most when men aren't around. Right. So one night they're drinking, they're having a party in the tattoo shop, and they have sex. But of course, and anything else in this fucked up reality we live in, Ashley finds out, she gets mad at the girl. Okay. The person that you're in a relationship with, they know they in a relationship. So why get mad at the person that all they going off of is what that person tells them? And that's all you can do. In the beginning, that's literally all I got to do is trust your word for it. I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I'm literally going to let this play out. So all this happens. They fight, of course. I hate when they do that shit, whatever. So that gets squashed. Don, for some reason, like any other man in this situation, I fucked up. So let me propose. This dumb hoe, she says, oh my God, yeah, I'll do. Okay, didn't he just cheat on you? She just cheated on you with a girl that he's going to see every day because he works in the tattoo shop. He's going to see her. They have to cross paths. So you decided, it's one thing to forgive them. It's a whole nother thing to actually think you're going to embark on some forever type shit. Yeah. That's a reward for you to actually sit there and say yes to this man after he's fucked up. That's a reward. He don't deserve that. He does not deserve your time, your attention, none of that stuff. You got to cut it off.
And see, the thing is, I think the homewrecker myth exists. I think it's not a myth, but I think that, again, we place it on the wrong person.
Yeah.
The home wrecker, the person that wrecked your home, is the person
that
cheated on you.
That's in your home. It's not the person that broke in and did.
And like usually, we use it for women.
Yeah.
So in that situation, it would be your husband or the person you're in a committed relationship with.
Right.
That's who has a duty
That's who
to
did
you.
It.
That's who is committed to you.
That's where the loyalty lies.
Exactly.
Not with that person on the street. She don't give a shit about you.
She could, even if she does know you. You know what I mean?
She still doesn't owe you that kind of respect, that loyalty. It's for herself. Yeah. She would literally have to be like, I can't do this out of respect for myself. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with the woman that you're with. So, and that pisses me off. And I tell females that all the time. And I've even said it in situations that I've been in. It was like, you mad at them? I'm like, no, I'm mad at you. I know exactly where my anger is directed at. And it's at you, because you were the person that sat there and said X, Y, and Z. And then everything was a lie. So you're a liar, you're a cheater, and you're disloyal. So why would that be a thing? So, back to this. So fast forward up to this season. She, every other scene that they're in, she's like, I'm your fiance this, I'm your fiance that. That's all she says. Like, that's literally her badge of honor to this cheater. Whatever. Okay. So he's no longer messing with the girl at the shop. He is messing with a whole nother girl. And guess what? Girl got a baby. She got a baby girl, and his new baby mama reached out to her and said, I thought you should know that your boyfriend, whatever he may be, is the father of my child. She loses her shit. Now, what I want to see happen, or what I'm curious to see how this plays out, is, are you gonna stay around this time? Do you stay around that time? It's one thing to cheat, one time in the beginning. I don't know. Me personally, I'm like one and done. No. Yeah, because I don't trust you. No. It would be one and done. Like, if I found out one time, I'd be like, nope. Because if I do this, it just it'll be good for a while, and then you'll get back to your ways. Like, I'm not saying once a cheater, always a cheater. Goddamn.
Once you got that seed planted.
And especially if you literally have to set the parameters for what you about to do. Yeah, because if you find out and you do all this extra, you do the stupid shit, and you go find a girl, fight the girl out, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Or B, you can dig in his ass and leave him alone.
But see, first of all, I think that myth is based on another myth. Mm-hmm. And the other myth is that men can control themselves.
Yes.
So that means, it's natural for men. So if there is a woman that's going to do the slightest thing to provoke them, then she is to blame.
Yeah.
No. Let's set this straight. Self-control. You can control yourself.
Yes, if I can.
You make that decision. It's not. There's a difference between a choice and a mistake.
And they quick to say it's a mistake.
No,
I'm like,
you made the decision.
A mistake is like, I accidentally spilled water, or I accidentally wrote this on your home.
Not
actually, my bad.
Took all of my clothes off.
Right, and laid down and had sex, unprotected sex, left the kid behind, all that stuff. That's not a mistake. That was a choice. The mistake was that you got caught. That you wasn't trying to get caught. You was just trying to, be out here and then try to come back in. And for me, and I've probably said it 100 times, I'm going to keep saying it until I'm gone. The most disrespectful thing that you can do to me, to Red, is take away my options. Yeah. You take away my options, you basically telling me this is what you gonna do, and you ain't got nothing to say about it. Don't do that shit. Like, literally, give me a chance to decide if that's what I want to do. You might want to be in an open relationship. You never know what type of shit I might be on myself. I might be messed up, like, I can't control myself, and there's guys out here that want me. So instead of both of us cheating, let's have an open relationship. Yeah. Just make sure we're never at home base. Like, do not bring that shit home. Anything that happens outside this house, You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But don't come back with no kids. Don't come back with no STDs. And don't come back with a whole nother family. Like, just don't do that shit. We good. But men don't want to do that. And I don't think men know how to articulate it the way. Yeah. And they also feel like they'll assume that a woman would never go for that. You never know what a woman is willing to put up with unless you present it to her.
Exactly. And I think that maybe not only just, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking maybe one of the reasons why a lot of women, I'm not going to say all women because, there's going to be a lot of women starting from this one right here does not here for that. No.
So me, I'm stingy.
Right. So it's a lot of women. I think it's almost like blaming the other woman. It's almost like a coping mechanism. Like I'd rather like direct my anger at you than actually accept that you willingly did this to me.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like that's the problem.
It's like that's a lot harder to
deal with
and to have to be able to just move forward from. So I don't know, but like you said, one of the things that's just really important is when you get in a relationship is to as early as possible to try to figure out what it is that they're even looking for.
Right. What kind of person you're dealing with.
Exactly. If you don't know, they could be wanting something out of a relationship, or they could very well not even be wanting a relationship. But if you don't know this and you get, all involved in your feelings and everything, and it's harder to leave.
Yep. And that's what it
where
is.
You got to communicate from the get-go.
That's really what it is. What keeps you in a relationship, in a situationship, whatever you want to call it, is the feelings. When you bring in emotions, it's like, damn it, that conversation needs to be had at the door. That way, especially for me, I'm a Cancer, I'm emotional, but I'm not out here like, oh my God, I'm in the room like, excuse me, let me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, like I don't feel like I want to give you that power to let you know that you even got to me like remotely close. So for me, it's like, please, as long as you don't tap into my feelings and you don't act along the lines of a relationship, then I have no choice. Like, if the feelings are involved, it's my fault. Right. But if you literally bring in your feelings and and I'm thinking we're on the same level, okay, and I trust you, I'm gonna open up that part of me. Yeah. But once you fuck up and I see you out here and you double talking and you not who you say you are, I gotta pull away. I gotta dial back. So women, stop. Like, it's so stupid. It doesn't make sense. I'm like, that's some punk shit. For me, from my point of view, that's some punk shit. That's an easy way out. If you go at the female, she ain't the home wrecker. The one that's wrecking your home is the person in your home. She ain't. There's on very little cases has there been like a woman out here like, I want to find a married man or a man in a relationship and I'm gonna fuck some shit
up.
But
even if that's the case,
and you got to trust your partner.
Are you going to let them?
Yeah.
It's the if that happens and they try to get to the married man.
Do you allow that to happen?
Exactly. It's all about
does he allow that to happen?
The decision that you're going to make right there and then.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that they're like. I guess I'm not going to say once a cheater, always a cheater. But one thing that I will say, though, is that when I hear a lot of women say, oh, I forgave and I forget. No. Stop lying to yourself. Right, stop lying to everybody. You are never going to forget.
No, because you're going to bring it back up. Watch, because you're going to get mad.
Anything is you're going to see is going to trigger.
Bitch. Like, yeah.
Anything is probably going to trigger it, and it's going to get you right back to where you were. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's just so unfair to women to, feel like they're stuck in it. You're not stuck in it. You're not stuck in it. Make your decision. Then if you do decide to move forward, I do think that you shouldn't be like every opportunity you get bring that up and use that also as like a power or control tool on the person. Yeah. But because if you've made a decision to move forward,
then you got to leave that behind.
Move forward.
You can't bring that forward with you.
Yeah. But it's, and I know I'm sure that it's like harder, like when you're in the situation and, you're taking everything into consideration, and it's probably not as easy to say, oh, okay, I'm just going to pack my stuff and I'm out of here. Yeah. It's probably not that simple. But at one point, you got to love yourself, and you got to also be fair to yourself. Like, do you want to live with that?
For the rest of your life? Because what you allow is what will continue. because if there's no consequences, that's the real reason why there's so many people out here cheating. Not even reckless, just simple old cheating, because there's no consequences. There's nobody's forcing them to like deal with it, because if you keep taking them back, y'all keep mending whatever's broken, it's obvious it's toxic. That's toxic to be crazy and to keep forgiving and keep allowing it to happen. You're literally keep going through the same motion. It's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different. So don't use years, history, kids, money. It ain't, none of those things are worth you. Because at the end of the day, like I keep saying, that's all you got is you. So them kids are going to love you more if you put them in a happy situation. You're going to love yourself more if you put yourself in a happy situation. Don't feel like no man got you over the barrel because he makes most of the bread. Guess what? It's seasonal time. You can get you a couple checks right now, stack up and be out.
And once again, it's all about what we allow to become the norm.
Yep.
You know, if we keep saying that like all men cheat, you know,
they'll continue that.
But that's what we gotta be. You know, I'm always trying to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, and we can't just be talking like this and then not say that. First of all, not all men are like this. Sometimes you have women in good relationships, good marriages, like and then you want somebody else that comes to their ear. Oh no, I bet you he did, or he's doing something. Right. Just because not all men are like this.
Not people. Everybody ain't like it.
But you have to.
It's rough.
Even if you set the boundaries, that doesn't guarantee that nothing is going to happen.
No,
it doesn't guarantee they're not going to do something, but you just have to, I don't know.
You got to have that faith, that hope that, whatever y'all talk about is what it is. But if, like anything, like a contract, anything is if you don't abide by these, then everything's null and void. Exactly. And you gotta piece them out.
And you can't just play dumb and think you're in a committed relationship. And just because she didn't mention it on paper that you can't cheat, that means you can.
Like, we never talked about it, so I know. No, like that's a cop out. Like that's a ploy for you to get out here and just do whatever you want to do. No. You can't do stuff like that.
And especially, I guess what saddens me sometimes is when I see like maybe people going through the situation and they're not married, and then they think like, oh, let's get married and we start fresh. No,
it's the same stuff.
You're trying to build a house on sand.
Right.
You know what
I
mean?
That. Not even the good sand. Like, you're literally on quicksand. And that's why the ring ain't a fix all.
The children, it's not, oh, let's go ahead and have a baby.
we got a kid, so I might as well marry him.
Or just not people who think that having children is going to fix or it's going to get them closer.
Yeah.
Now, you have, between you and that person, that has to be that foundation.
Exactly.
That everything else can be built on.
Yep.
Not like it's rocky and then, because it's never going to be leveled.
Because you keep doing, and that's the problem. Like, I think most females, some men, I don't only talk from my point of view, but they chase after a ring. Mm-hmm. They really want that title, that badge of honor. Right. And I don't know, at this point, I don't want to get married. That's just me. Mm-hmm. And is it subject to change? Sure, why not? Whatever. But at this point, I don't want it. Right. That's just not something that I'm after. But a woman would literally put up with so much stuff over so many years to feel like one day I'm going to be his wife. Or, matter of fact, there was an NFL player that cheated on his wife, I think, with some other reality TV star. I don't watch their shows, but the wife made a statement and was like, I pushed my husband, so told him I'm gonna be there as a friend, and basically was on some shunning the other woman. Mm-hmm. I was like,
it drives me nuts
that's your husband. Mm-hmm. Vows, I do, all that shit. That girl was not there, so how would she know that? Rings come off, lies and stories come into play, and she can really just go based off of what he is telling her. Mm-hmm. So now that you got a whole nother kid and you feeling like, and she literally, I'm his wife, and you knew he was married, and you're a groupie, and you this and you that. I'm like, did you say all this, even a third of this shit to your husband? No. Then what are you talking about? It's a mute point now, because if you're not gonna say the same shit to him, then there's really you might as well, once again, we can leave it at this. If you know your dude's cheating and you ain't going nowhere, shut up. and let him cheat in peace because you ain't going nowhere. What's the point of making all this noise? You ain't going nowhere. Shut up. You just being out extra, this rah for what? Because next week you're gonna be back every time. Back, yeah, we back. Like we never. I'm like, that's...
no, but the truth is, you're probably like really broken inside, and you just have to admit it. And
trying to keep it up for us, the social media people.
At some point, you're going to say it. Yeah. No matter how long you hide it, no matter how long you keep it inside, it's going to get to a point where you can't. It's going to get to a point where you're going to wake up that morning, you laying down next to him, and you're like, man, I
can't believe that shit happened 4 years ago. And he'll be like, what? Because you didn't nip it in the bud 4 years ago.
That's why it's like important to, I would never advise somebody to just don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now say something like when it happened.
If you got your plan set up, and you got you got to execute your literally. I don't know. For me, I'm different. Like I'm determined. I like stuff planned out. I don't spontaneous stuff is like very seldom. Only in certain situations. I'm like, yeah, let's just do it. No, I'm like, what we doing? Where we going? Who gonna be there? How long we gonna? Like, I want everything set up. But like, if you sit down, come up with a plan, all these things, extra strategy, whatever, then you are free to say whatever the hell you want to say. Yeah. Because the reason why I say don't say nothing is because you basically told the whole world or everybody, your friends, he ain't shit, he did this, blah, blah, blah. You turn around, take them back, they gonna judge you.
No.
Especially if you keep it quiet and keep it to yourself until you feel like you've had enough, then that's when you can be like, you know what, I'm out. And they'll really believe you then, because now everybody's like, girl, shut up, you ain't going nowhere. Mm-hmm. You got all that money. Let's get to your topic, because this one's a good, important, we'll have some insight to, was it postpartum?
Yeah.
Postpartum depression. I've heard about it. So what you got?
I know. Well, I guess, I wanted to mention it because most of the time, it's rare, I guess, to hear somebody talk about it.
I've heard a couple. My friends talked about it. They had babies. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least for me, I hadn't heard really about it. I hadn't heard about it from anybody that had gone through it. Mm-hmm. You would have had maybe, when I was pregnant with my first, I only birthed one child.
With her child. She got 20 kids with my very first one.
With the first one that I birthed, but I do have two others.
Right.
But, yeah, like even my doctor, my personal doctor, OBGYN and everything, never really mentioned it. Mm. So I just had I guess a general idea of what it was. But nobody, that I knew had gone through it. So when I had my son, and, I remember I had him on a Monday. I had a C-section, so I was in the hospital till that Friday. It was like heaven just came down on earth. Like, it was just amazing. Like, if I could relive that week.
It was a good week.
It was great. So we go home that weekend. It was great. It's still, people are coming around and everything to see him and stuff. And then comes Monday, and I don't know, I just started feeling different. Mm-hmm. I just started feeling weird, and I'm glad that I realized that, and that I immediately told my husband, I said, I don't know, I'm feeling like something weird in my chest, like that I've never felt before. Like, I don't feel like myself. Like, all of a sudden.
You feel like anxiety?
Yeah, but see, I had never really experienced true anxiety. You know how we use that word lightly?
Everybody's like,
I got anxiety. Yeah. No, when you have anxiety, you will physically feel it.
I felt that I had anxiety, a small anxiety attack. What was that, Tuesday? When I was coming up here to do 3, 2, 1. I was in traffic. I just found out Kanye coming to Louisville. I got the album on. I'm bopping. All of a sudden, my chest got tight.
Yep.
And I started breathing out. And I said, the thing I hate about it, because I had to tell my mom, I said, the thing I hate about it is that you don't know when it's coming.
Yeah.
It'd be different if you got your period or something like that. You get your moods be all over. Right. You be like, ooh, my stomach hurt, my back. And then you got an attitude or something because you know what's about to come. But with anxiety, you have no idea.
And see, I guess the scary part for me was when that happened, and then I went, see my doctor and everything. She's like, oh, most women go through it. Most people just don't really talk about it. It's, it's going to be fine. It's going to go away and everything. And it stayed with me for 3 months.
Wow.
When I mean for the first 3 months, literally, it was to the point where, and that's why I'm so thankful for having a really strong support system.
Right.
My husband being number one, where he was like, okay, this is not normal. Right. Like I would just burst out crying for no reason and wouldn't be able to stop for hours at a time.
Wow.
And so he was like, no, we got to do something. Like this is going on too long. It's not that 2-3 days or whatever.
Right. It's like months.
This is 3 months. And for 3 months, it was like the same thing. So I was barely eating. So I had to stop breastfeeding my son because, if you're not eating, he's not getting anything. It's like he's drinking water,
right, basically.
So, it was just a lot of things. And, just not eating, barely sleeping. And it would especially happen at certain times during like the day. So like I would get scared even like a few hours before knowing that I was about to go through
it's
that.
about to go into
it's about to happen.
Yeah.
And so and really the reason I want to talk about it is because like I said, nobody had really told me anything about it. So you kind of feel isolated. You feel like guilty. Like why am I feeling that way? It's not normal. Like I'm happy I have my son.
Right.
It's not no accident or nothing. We wanted him, and I'm happy that he's here and everything was fine. And all of a sudden, this happens. And, but, I had also a great doctor, and she was telling me it has nothing to do with you. It's like, what your body just went through and all those hormones that have been released and everything, all of that plays a role. And I guess also I think, although I have like a great family here, I still, didn't have like my parents here, my sisters. I didn't have
me.
Nobody from there was over here. So I guess maybe that played
a part of it.
A part of it too. But that's what since then I really felt like almost like an obligation to try to talk to people about it. And recently I had one of my closest friends actually that was pregnant. And I was like, I don't want to scare you or anything, and I'm not saying that you're going to go through this.
Right,
I just want you to start getting educated about it so that you see it.
Right.
And really just, that's all I wanted to do. And so she had her baby like a month ago and calls me probably a week later and says, I think I'm going through exactly what you said to me.
Wow.
And she starts just crying on the phone and everything. But she was like, but, the comforting thing that what she was saying was comforting to her was to talk to somebody that had gone through it.
Right.
And that then it went away.
Yeah.
So it's reassuring. And that was one thing that I was really seeking was when that was going through, it was like, man, I know, my husband's telling me it's going to be fine. I know everybody's telling me it's going to be okay. It's going to go away.
But you need somebody that's actually been in the trenches, though.
Exactly.
Like,
I didn't have nobody that had dealt with that could tell me, girl, I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly how you're feeling, and it gets better. And so, that's just what I got about it. Just, trying to, I wish doctors would do a better job at preparing, women for that because it's hard. And then when I started just trying to look for people that had gone through that, and I was like, man, I didn't. So it was like, then people like even close people, and I'm like, I never knew. And they're like, never really talked about it.
Yeah.
Because women feel like they feel guilty.
Yeah.
Feel like, why am I feeling that way? So they don't really talk about it. But, just, it's important to just.
I've had like a couple of my cousin, Lucky, she had it. I think she's dealt with it, probably not to the level of what, or I don't know, but from what she's told me, like she had a son, my homegirl Felicia, she had a son, like they had it within like the same month maybe, and they've talked about it, but just vaguely, not really going into like details. So I've definitely heard about it. I know it's not something that is talked about, and it really does need to be talked about. Just like anxiety is not talked about. The first time like I had anxiety, and I didn't even know I had was dealing with it. It was just like came out of nowhere, and it was a constant visit. It was like over and over and over again, and I would be in my head. And I would my breathing would be off, and I really couldn't sleep because my brain was just like, girl, we up. What's up? What you gonna do about, X, Y, and Z? And it's like, when I told somebody about it, I think I would have it, and I'm so happy I work from home. Like, y'all don't understand. I would be driving like all the way downtown.
I know.
And it would be like early in the morning, and I would probably have one. And I didn't know what was going on, and I was just driving like zoning out. And I'm like, what is going on? Yeah. So I talked about it with this lady at my on my job, and she was trying to tell me it was a demon. And I was like, I guess because she had just seen somebody that does outlet, whatever. But me personally, no. Right. Like, everybody, because she was like, I'll give you your number. No, thank you. Because when it comes to demons and stuff like that, if I have a spiritual leader, like, I would go to my pastor, my first lady, because that's where, that's my leadership, that's whatever. I'm not going to, I don't trust a stranger because who's to say that you're taking this away from me and you're not putting something else in?
Right.
Like, people are, I ain't gonna be racist, but white people can be a little too trusting of certain situations. Like, cause she told me that, I tell my homegirl, I was like, she came over here talking that book. I was like,
Probably gave her business cards.
Yeah,
everything.
she's like her homegirl, cause she was like, yeah, because I had this spirit in me and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
no.
You telling me all of this. I don't think it's that. Prayer needed, of course. Yes, I always need prayer. I'll pray on my own. If I have to go into my church and pray in the prayer room, I'll do that. If I'm gonna reach out to anybody, it'd probably be my first lady because she's known me most of my life and we actually have a relationship. So it's somebody that knows me and knows what's, who I am, my family, and knows that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't trust a person out on the street that or you looked up in the yellow pages.
I didn't even trust the doctors.
See, and then there's that.
Because it's like, they're so quick to want to put you on some
medicine.
Kind of medicine.
That's why I never said anything to my doctor.
I refuse. They were like, okay, well, because they saw that, I was still going through it or whatever. And I'm like, that's the one thing I'm not going to let there's no medication that's going to control me. Like, I'm not gonna go for that. I
didn't want that, and I was like, if I told my doctor, because every time I go to her, she be trying to put me on birth control. Girl, you won't get this, you won't get. I'm like, my body is not set up to try different. I don't get flu shots. She asks me every year, you get a flu shot? No. You want one? No. What about pneumonia? You want one? No. Like, I don't want that. I'm smart, bruh. I don't need them shots. Okay, even if I get the flu, give me a couple days, give me a Z-Pack, I'll be back. But the flu. I don't do none of that stuff. Could you literally check me, see if I'm good, run them little tests in, and let me just get on with life. So we about to wrap it up because I think we got another show's coming in. So I don't want to step on nobody's feet. I'm about to have a sponsor for Banshee's blog. Definity Locks, I believe that's what it is. I'll tell y'all more about it. She got a So, young lady out of New Orleans, she's doing a step show, dance team competition here. So she wants me to run an ad, and she wants me to broadcast live down at her show at the old Louisville. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make some money, make some moves out here. 3-2-1. We got a live show coming up November 23rd. Yeah, November 23rd. R&B Rhythm and Podcast. It's gonna be an R&B night. R&B singers, when you come out, you gotta come sexy. This ain't the blue jeans, which you might throw a dress on, some nice pantsuit or something. Fellas, get your suit on, nice bow tie, whatever, all black preferably. Nice. That'd be nice. But yeah, we'll announce guests and our artists and all those things. Will be Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey is the sponsor for that show. Like our first live show. So we'll keep y'all posted on that. This show will be up on iTunes, Google Play Music, Specker.com, and YouTube. Right. I think that's everywhere. Go. Yeah. So we are. Thank you for listening to the blog. All right.